Well, more racing today. I want to do this video today because I'm going to try and get a bunch of videos done tomorrow for you guys. Obviously, a bit of a difficult weekend. I have Saturday here, Saturday, Scioto. Sunday, I'm going to fly to Cooperstown to watch Ollie play baseball, and then Monday off to Kentucky. So if I want to get your videos done, it's going to have to be a focus of mine heading from the barn to the meadows tomorrow morning. Now I want to talk about today, a bit of a mixed bag. Looking at the races, nobody really raced bad that I can see at all. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We had the scratch of Perfect Thought. I told you guys. So a little update. If she was an aged horse, her AST would be mildly acceptable. You'd say, maybe not 100%, but okay. And it's just not fair to her to make her first lifetime start, especially a filly that we have we've touted so highly to make a start into the 10 hole in an 11 horse field, her first lifetime start, when we know she's not quite 100%. So to ask her to overcome all of that and everything else would be a bit much. So opted for the scratch tonight of the 10 hole. I think Megan was 100% right in, first off, she did a tremendous job to get that AST down. She was stiff on Monday. Usually when the horses are visibly stiff, that's pretty high AST. Coming in off 30-some hundred, got it all the way down to 1,500 tonight, 1,536, I think she said yesterday, which it's reasonable to believe that was actually 1,100, 1,000 tonight. She probably could have raced, but as I said, why risk it? What do we have to gain? It's one division of 11. So, I mean, over the next 2 weeks, she only has to be moderately competitive to make the final. And I don't want to get over my skis here, but, after talking to Scotty, after talking to Megan, and they know the competition they're in with, she was let's just say she's a heavy contender in New Jersey. Everybody's excited about Perfect Thought. So the scratch was just smart. It was a no-brainer. The rest of the day, Arrowhead Handover, left line a little bit today. You saw down the backstretch, Mike said he was just biting it a little bit, and I couldn't get him back down to the rail, and Dave slid up the inside of me. For a super professional driver like Dave Miller to drive up the inside of somebody, there must have been lots of room there. And listen, Mike's a great driver too. It's not like he was just out there driving all over the place. The horse was clearly on the left line, which there doesn't, and I asked Mike also, he said he doesn't seem lame anywhere. Doesn't seem lame anywhere to me too. This is a horse that started off the year with a roller burr and Murphy blind on the left. Then we went to a roller burr, then we went to a normal burr, then we took the burr off. Now he has nothing on, he's on the left line. If he had a little head nod or something, he'd be like, something's coming, but I don't know, could it be something as silly as his teeth? Middle of the year, we had them done the start of the year. It's unlikely, but I would start there without any obvious signs of lameness. It's pretty hard just to start doing work on them. Now, obviously, Dr. Stanek, Tim's vet, will go over Arrowhead Handover quite closely over the next week, and if there's anything to be had, we'll have it. We'll find it. But I guess the only saving grace is it's a tough division. You got Go Dog Go in there. You got Scotty's horse of a second day, got the horse that beat him. That is a salty crew of trotters. And Arrowhead Handover right now is sitting about 7th or 8th. But again, if Go Dog Go races in the 4th elimination, which he likely will, you're going to have a couple of horses pass Arrowhead Handover, which would put him 1st or 2nd in the consolation, which, from my standpoint, is a much wiser place to be. So we'll likely race Arrowhead Handover in the last Buckeye, at the Meadows. Now, Manhattan Money from the rail, I've told everybody a million times, he's not a great starter from the rail. For a horse that's drawn the rail like 6 times, seems like every week he has the rail. And he's not an easy horse. I talked to Tim Teacher before the race, and I said, hey, if you can feed him into the gate, you're fine. You get off on the right foot, but then 3 beat him out, and he stayed along the rail, which he had to do. And it just didn't work out. He's a 55 trotter that trotted 55. You get away in the 2 hole, he'll follow a little more speed than that. But for the most part, that's what he is, right? If you're 6th at the head of the lane and they go in 54, guess what? You're getting beat 5-6 lengths. Just the way it is with him. There's nothing wrong with having a horse like him. I think, and I don't believe there's a Stallion Series consolation. You don't have to tell me. I'm almost positive there's not. So, Manhattan Money, I know the last division is here at the Meadows, so we do use him in there. I don't know, maybe, I guess, but it's getting to the point where he's strictly a non-winners of 3 horse, and the stake scene is just a little outside his ability, right? Just the way it is. So still a very useful horse, just tough fit for the Stallion Series. And you know, we talk about tough fits. I guess we'll skip right ahead to Captain Incredible. And you know, I had an email from somebody, a little salty, to be honest, asking what was wrong with Captain Incredible. Well, I don't know, sir. He's got 11 starts and 4 of them in 51. He was at the quarter in 26 and 4 today. I opted to let him roll along. We were supposed to be going to the Adios next week. Surely I can roll him along on the front end and win in 50-51. I'm thinking when I roll past the quarter pole and he felt that good, we're going 49-50. Half and 55 pops up. Perfect. Exactly where I want to roll. 123 and 4, that's 28 and 4 on the backstretch. We're in good shape. We come out of the last turn and he just flattened a bit. Now we scoped him, and Tim said, the vet said, no blood where she could find. Her scope's a little shorter, so she can't get all the way down to the bifurcation. She said, you know, if he's as good as you say he's been and was and will be, then I guess I could support him bleeding a little bit, which is fair. But my take on it is simple. If his airway is clean, no pimples, or very few pimples, no mucus, it's unlikely if there was going to be blood, you would have seen it, I think. And quite frankly, we can't race him in Kentucky on Lasix anyway, and that's where we're going to pivot to. I think the Adios at this point, at the very least, we're 2 to 3 weeks away from it. I hoped we'd get there. And, you know, somebody said to me the other day, actually, the email today said, you know, where'd we go wrong with this horse? I don't really think you understand, right? When you're training a horse down, it shows ability. Maybe you can tell me, you could discern between a 48 and 51 pacer in 220. I can't. Maybe you can. It's a trick question. It is absolutely impossible to. Anybody out there says, yeah, I can tell the difference. Well, you're either naive or an idiot, one or the other, because you can't. Horse has a ton of ability and a ton of talent. I would suspect it's more that he just hasn't broken free yet. He had some soreness issues training down, and Tim has done a tremendous job. Him and his staff, the horse is getting sounder every week and looking better every week and feeling confident. You know, we went from starting a horse I had to protect. Remember way back when that first start he was 4th. I said, geez, he feels like he wants to come forward. I didn't have to protect him that much. And then Dave won him 52 of them on the front. He jogged. And then I won him like 51 or 52 of them. You get up into the non-winners of 3. All those horses aren't that far removed from the Adios type competition. Horse of the mare on the far outside has been racing all year. Good looking mare, by the way. I can't remember her name, but closed hard. Now I know we only have 28 seconds. I paced 51 and 4, 28 and a bit at the end of it. I guess we were there at 123 and 2. But I feel Captain Incredible is a lot like my own son, right? Ton of talent, ton of ability, but at some point, and obviously he's not there yet, he's only 12, he's about to be 12. But at some point in their teenage years, if they want to be a true athlete, one, you have to have the ability, right? Rudy proved that. You know the movie Rudy? I told Ollie to watch it. Because there's an example of a human, obviously, with less ability, but a tremendous will and work ethic. Well, at an elite level, you have to have all that, right? You have to have a tremendous amount of ability, big set of lungs, big heart, and a great work ethic. And you have to buy in. What I mean by that is you have to try 105% every step of the way, the whole way, to be a true top flight horse. And it certainly is not the Captain Incredible. He's not doing that. I think he thinks he's doing it, but he's still got to break free. Now that he's not at himself as much, the aluminum shoes did the trick. He seems sounder. He's not hitting himself. Now, I do have that little go straight on the left. I think we can probably take it off. Maybe that slowed him down a little bit. I don't know. But as I said to Tim tonight, we'll pivot to Kentucky. We'll see if we can break him free in Kentucky. What I mean by that is Let him find that extra gear that I know is there. Dave saw it, I saw it, Ronnie saw it last year, James saw it. Everybody's seen it, but it has to be present all the time. The difference between a horse like him pacing in 51 and 48 or 49 is minuscule. But he's got to buy in, right? That athletic ability can only take you so far. It has to be combined with a fierce work ethic and drive and hunger. He's not missing it. I think it's there. We just have to break it free. So Captain Incredible raced okay. Raced good today. Did he let me down a little bit because I was expecting to be racing in the Adios next week. But I can't in good faith put that horse in the Adios. It's not like it would be laughable. No, not at all. Before time is on my side, winning 49-3 last year. He paced 51, 50-4, 51, and then he took off at the right day. I win at 49 with him 2 weeks later. Aaron cut him loose on the front end. He went at 49 again, 3. We'll get there. He's a good horse, and I'm sure he'll be a very good horse for us at some point. It just, as I just said to Tim, it just feels to me right this second today as I'm driving home, a little bit of a square peg in a round hole type situation. He doesn't quite fit just yet. Very similar to Arrowhead Handover, right? What's the difference between, third in a sire stake, second in a sire stake, or a beaten fifth? Well, the difference is you can't beat them, right? You're a good horse. There's nothing wrong with that. Arrowhead Handover's trotted in 53 multiple times. There's nothing wrong with that. But you're just not quite there yet. So I guess the only difference is I believe Captain Incredible is that type of horse. I don't know if I'm articulating myself well enough, but we just got to shake him free. And I think it's important to note also, he's got 11 starts lifetime, right? Many of them were in, yellow alert, where he just wasn't quite comfortable enough to really blast. Today, getting the quarter in 26-4, he felt like a racehorse. If you'd asked me at the quarter, I would have told you 49-3, 49-4, 50, he's a winner. He just fizzled a bit. Maybe there is a little blood down there. I'm not positive. Give him a couple starts in Kentucky and then we'll see. And I think it is important to note, we've got him going in the right direction. He's not going anywhere, right? He's still going to be a good 4-year-old. He's still going to be a good 5-year-old. He's a good horse. He's going to continue to be a good horse for us. So I think that's the important note. Don't get down on the horse. The horse has never actually raced bad. Not a day in his life for us. Never. He's always had a reason, right? First, second, third, first, second, third, first, second, third. Even last year, fourth, flying on the end of it, 52, his first lifetime start. The second time, both his knee boots around his feet. We got him hung up right. We got the shoes that are on him that work right now. And he is coming forward. So, although I don't think it makes a lot of sense to put him in the Adios next week, don't get down on the horse. He's still a good horse. Next was Millie Girl. Talk about, horses with talent. I don't know how good Millie Girl is, but it's pretty hard not to like her. Here's a filly. You know the entire timeline. She wasn't that good training for 3 weeks. Found out she was bleeding. Put her on Lasix. Qualified her in 58 last quarter and 28-4 6 days later. Come out her first start. Paces 55-3, 28 and a bit on the end of it. Following horses in the Stallion Series. Gets away in the 2-hole tonight. They go in 54-2. She goes by the horse in the front. She's picked off on both sides by 2 fillies that are good fillies. Ronnie told me after. He said that filly I'm going with, I liked her probably second best of all the horses I went with the Ronnies. How do you complain about that? She paces 54-3 last quarter, 28-2. I'd say we probably race her 3-4 more times, put her away, and hope that she really springs up and grows up. I'm gonna send her down to Kentucky somewhere. Let her get a belly full of grass the latter part of the summer into the fall into her, and see what she looks like as a 3-year-old. Great attitude, fast enough filly, really nice filly. But again, it's tough. These stakes are tough. We all have dreams and hopes and prayers, going through the spring and the summer. I do too. I'm no different than you. Seeing us win the North American Cup or the, Adios with Captain Incredible. Come out and just decimate everybody with our stake horses. But It's racing. This is tough. Looks like money. Honestly, if you had asked me, even behind the gate, I didn't know what I was going to do. You know, I'm thinking, I know Chris Lamb's horse is good. They paid an unbelievable amount of money for him last year. Just killing everybody at New York in Yonkers. And then was a good horse all along. They brought him back. He wins at 52-2, 2 starts ago at the Meadows. He's got the rail. Dave Palone's horse can leave, but doesn't get around the first turn. Jeremy Indoff's horse was really the indicator of what I'm going to do. If Jeremy leaves, he's going to have to release me. He can't park me. If he leaves enough to get in the 2-hole and Chris Lambs really plows out of there, I'm in trouble. So I got to keep my eye left on Chris Lambs coming off the car. And Dave Palone, how's he getting off the gate? There's probably a spot in there, but there's not going to be any freebies. I get off the car good. Jeremy gets off the car good. I look left. We got everybody beat out except for Chris Lambs. I know Chris Lambs is not going to push through. I race against him enough. He knows what's about to happen. Jeremy's going to have to release me. He's going to come at the quarter pole, and that's it. He was right. I knew he was coming. I let money sail right over the quarter. 27 flat. You might beat me, but you're going to have to beat me. Chris cleared to the front with the earplugs in. He's a nice horse. He looked nice. Around the last turn, he was just toying with us. Down by the wire, he's got him wrapped up, just hoping they let him in there again. Earplugs in, driving off, winner, 52-2. Go away. The Open was just fine before you got here. So hopefully, I know if they put him back in there next week, though, they'll give him 2 starts in there. They'll draw the outside twice and the Open won't fill it. So hopefully they race him at Scioto. A little more money there. Of course, raced in the Graduate, I think, last week. Or something last week. But looks like money raced good. Tried a 52-2 last quarter, 28-4. That's as much as he can go. To ask him to go anymore is foolish. He just can't. 52-2 on a 5/8 mile track. He's a big mile. So a great mile from him. We hope to deuce tonight with him, so he was good. And then Perfection Hanover, I didn't know what to think. If you'd have told me going on the track, hey, what about 55-1, 28 apiece on the end? I'll take that. That's exactly what he did. Of course, the 3-year-old with the 9-hole jogs comes half in 58 a mile and 53-3. It's a very big mile for Perfection. I told Tim after, right line hard, put a roller burr on him, let's put some aluminums on him, and see what he can do with 2-year-olds. He raced okay. I still am not sold on him being a killer, but he raced okay. It's a pretty good first lifetime start, 55-28 at the end of it. No complaints here. So he raced good, and then perfect out of scratch later on. So a good night at the races. Oh, Amy's calling. I'll call her in a second. Tomorrow we got Rico, Leland, Go Strong, Hanover, Captain Doolittle, Texong, Soprano, Patrick, Tenacious, and then we're off to, no, before then, we have Rock Shining Star in Ontario, and then we're off to Scioto, Tomboy Strong, Emerald, Tom, Foxy Seaside at Northfield, Supermind and Uncle Danny at Scioto, and they will round out the night, and in between them is Time is on my side. Dexter Dunn is up tomorrow night on Time is on my side. So, a decent night at the track. Didn't get any W's, but a good night. No complaints. Not one horse. Not one raced poorly today. Got a big day tomorrow. How many do we got here? Oh, it's not going to show me now, is it? Why is this stupid thing doing that? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It doesn't have all of them there. Oh, there we go. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 horses tomorrow. A big Saturday of racing ahead. So with that, I'm going to let you go. I'm on my way home. I got to call Amy back. I hope you all had a great night. I hope you're having a great start to your weekend. I will talk to you all tomorrow. Take care.